Variables, data types, and control flow. Introduction to variables and data types. In this video, we're going to define a variable, learn about the different types of variables or data types, create variables, and print some information to the screen. Variables are like building blocks because they hold the program together. They store information that relates to a program. Open the Dart file that we created in the last section. Let's give ourselves some room by hiding the project window. If there is a line of code that you don't want to be executed, you can type 2 forward slashes and this creates a single line comment. Developers use comments like notes. This is very helpful when they come back to it later. Let's go on a new line and create a comment that says creating variables. Variable names should be descriptive, written in lower camel case. They must not contain spaces or special characters, but underscores and the $sign are allowed. Variable names cannot begin with a number, but they can contain a number. Names cannot be keywords. If we type var first name and we don't set a value, this is called declaring a variable. If we set the value to Victor, we have declared and initialized our variable. We say initialize because the initial value of our variable is Victor. The same way that we put different things into a box, we can put different values in a variable. Let's create another variable. Actually, let's speak like programmers. Declare and initialize a variable to store your age. Var age is equal to 33. What do you notice about the first line of code and the second line? You should have noticed that each line of code ends with a semicolon. The first name variable is placed in double quotes. The age variable has no quotes. The reason for this is that these variables contain different types of information. The first variable contains a string of characters and it's called a string. For this warning that pops up, just click OK. After first name has been initialized with a string, only strings can be placed in that variable. The age variable has been initialized with an integer, and only integers can be placed inside the age variable. If we try to place an integer inside of the first name variable, we get an error, and if we try to place a string inside of the age variable, we also get an error. We only use the keyword var when we are creating a variable for the first time. Let's comment out the last 2 lines of code. We can update the value of the first name variable to Steve, and we can update the age variable to 26. If we want to be more precise, we can use the string keyword to create a variable to store your last name, and we can use the int keyword to store your current age. If we try to create a variable that has been declared before, this will cause an error. So let's not do that. You can use single quotes or double quotes for strings. The int keyword is short for integer, and this can be used to store whole numbers. If we wanted to store decimal numbers, we would use the double keyword. Let's create a variable to store your height. I am 181.61 centimeters tall. If we are unsure of the type of number, we can use num. For example, num miles to Bridgetown is equal to 17. But if we want to be more precise, we should use int or double. Booleans are used to store true and false values. We can create a Boolean using the keyword bool. Bool is sunny is equal to true. Bool is hungry is equal to false. Let's print all of these variables to the screen by using the print function. If you did everything correctly, all this information should be displayed in the console.